back for another segment of Daddy Knows Best. It's your boy AJ.
Hey, AJ still struggling with the introduction, but I'm Coach Eli. I done figured out my moniker. From now on, I'm Coach Eli.
Okay, so you're gonna be bougie baby daddy. None of
Nah,
that.
I'm done with
None of
that. I'm done with that. I'm growing up a little bit. I'm Coach Eli because that's all I hear almost 5 days a week. So we're going with that.
Okay, well, Coach Eli, let's tell us what we got going on today.
Ah, man. So we got a special guest, Bridge Harrison, and he came up with this topic that he brought to the table. And it revolves around something that a lot of families, a lot of fathers are actually experiencing, whether they acknowledge it or not, because either one, we have children and they come from different parents, right? Whether it's you were with a lady and had a child and have another child with another lady. You can even take it as far as having children, but the age gap means a lot. And so what that breeds and what we've seen is that there's a level of either is resentment from child to child. Is there a strained relationship because one may get more attention than the other, or a feeling of neglect, a feeling of abandonment, a feeling of where's my love, where's my relationship with my father, how is my relationship with my sibling going to develop? I may not even like my sibling. So there are so many different facets to this conversation, and when that was brought to our attention, we felt like that was a great topic to cover. And so we want to get you started on with this. In your life, how did that conversation start? Tell us about that.
Well, first of all, Bridge Harrison, North Carolina representative up here in the DMV.
I'm North Carolina representative down here. That's the only outcast down there.
But yeah, I'm a father of two. I have a 6-year-old daughter and an 8-month-old son. Now, my daughter wanted a baby brother even before, her mother and I decided that we were going to do that, before we knew, before whatever. So it happened. She's happy. She loves her brother to death.
Yeah.
But she she has two older siblings from her mother's previous relationship, and they are 12 and 15 years older than her. So, she was the baby coming in, getting all the attention of both of her parents, so forth and so on. Then when, the new baby shows up, he's a baby, right? So he's one of those babies that you can't put down. He don't chill. He's getting into stuff or crying or, whatever. So, obviously he takes quite a bit of our attention, daily, hourly, minutely, whatever. So, she's definitely seen her acting out a little bit. Maybe a little bit of it has to do with the age that she's coming into and, being influenced by her cheerleading team or people in her school or whatever it may be. It may be some of that. But also, she's made comments like, you guys only love Nico, which is his name, and, this, that, and the other. She's definitely, you guys only care about him. Y'all are, she's guilted us into quite a bit of conversations because of her consternation about having to share.
Word of the day.
Yeah, having to share our time. So, yeah, man, it's just, it's just a topic of conversation that I, love to have with other veteran fathers about, how we get over that, how we figure that out.
Interesting. Because that's something. Well, let me ask you a question before we get into some of the like even my experience with that. So what has been your approach as far as trying to reassure? Because a lot of times what I've seen when other fathers are dealing with this is two approaches. One, I've seen where people ignore it, meaning, okay, well, it's not that big a deal. You're trying to downplay it, whatever. Then the other side of the spectrum is you see that fathers overcompensate. And then when you start overcompensating, then that level of entitlement to the older, the one that's having the problem, tends to grow, which leads to other issues down the road. So what has been your approach so far, like as far as not specifics of internal household conversations, but the fundamental basis of your conversations? What has that been?
So, she's a girl. She's the 6-year-old girl, and sometimes she's ridiculous. Sometimes she's dramatic. Hence she gets that from her mama.
Ah,
She, her mama gonna
easy,
kill me.
easy way to blame. Yeah, easy way to blame. I got you. Because it
Her
sounds
mama
like
gonna
I
kill
don't
me.
know now. It sounds like a little deflection here, but it's all right.
I'm not gonna hit the end of that one, but nah, that was just a joke, by the way. But
That's
nah,
funny.
man, I've had the so when she is being ridiculous, like when she's clearly done something, and then try to blame it on we're coming down hard on her because of our love for the other kids. So we definitely call that out, nip that in the bud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of more the disciplinarian in the house too. So she, I don't know how much she gets it or how much she, resonates with her, but I've tried to do that. But also, like I've tried to be intentional with taking more of my time, not a whole lot more. I haven't just rearranged my entire life because she's busy. She's, in school, she's in aftercare, and then she's in cheerleading. So she already gets a lot of my time. I'm at all her competitions, practices. We had to reschedule yesterday because she had a trunk or treat. So I had, I'm always involved in any and everything. So I do have to keep letting her know that, hey, we do all of these things for you. So, we're here at everything and we want to kind of,
That's
keep
it.
that.
That's issue number one.
Okay.
Just because you are involved in taking them to practice, that's not the time that they're talking about. That's
Right.
not the show of love. That's not the show of, because you got to think about it. If you look at it from a child's perspective, in their mind, they almost feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do anyway.
Right.
That's not what they're looking for. It's that one-on-one conversation, that one-on-one hugs, that one-on-one let me lay on your shoulder, let me lay on your lap and watch TV or whatever she likes to do, just you and her. So trust me, I'm not saying it like I'm the best either, because I had to learn this sometimes, some of it the hard way, in a sense that um I'm not gonna say that I'm the most have been the most emotionally intelligent man, because shut up, boy.
Whoa, we're shocked. Whoa,
Oh, we done had a
breaking
revelation
news.
here. Oh my
Hey,
God.
look,
Oh my God.
we gotta keep it funky, right? Because I know you ain't talking. We ain't even gonna get into you right now. But
I'm
but
emotionally intelligent. I just know not to see stupid shit. But I'm
see, you
Go ahead,
see,
Eli.
see, that's part of your problem. See, I'm vulnerable. I'm able to
Oh my
speak.
God. If we don't continue with this.
Oh,
I'm I'm
oh,
able to speak.
oh.
I'm able to speak my truths. I
What
don't
what
hide within
Oh,
myself.
what
But
Offset say? CAP? What Offset say?
oh my God.
word up. But nah, I mean, that's the gist of it. Is like I said, it's because you take it to practice, because you spend money on letting her do things. That's not the time she's talking about. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm saying it from experience, because trust me, I'd be like, yo, I do everything for you. I make sure that everything is done. You never have any wants and never have any needs, but you
I
just want to
get you.
sit down and let me lay on my shoulder and let me watch TV. You know, that's type of stuff that I didn't realize at first either.
I did that yesterday. Well, maybe not yesterday. Sometime this week, I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit down, watch whatever nonsense she watches on YouTube. Kids these days, they don't even play with toys. They just watch other kids do stuff on YouTube. So I
Man,
sat
that's
down.
insane.
Oh my God.
That's a whole nother issue right there.
Yeah, so I sat down with her while I folded clothes and, let her lay on me. And, I try to wrestle with her, have her little inside jokes, our rituals and things of that nature. So, and I think, the thing with parenting in general, right? Like, we are not going to know everything that we did right or wrong to a kid, but what my kids are never going to be able to say is I wasn't there, I didn't show up, I didn't put interest into them, I wasn't trying my best to make them the best humans that they can. And so that's kind of like my approach is just like when she says something to me, I definitely don't ignore it, definitely put some time and some thought and some effort into it, but I mean, at the same time, like, you know, Nico isn't always going to be 8 months old, right? So eventually he's going to, you know, be able to fend for himself a little bit more, you know, and, you know, I'm hoping that things change a little bit at that point in time. But I do want to talk to y'all. Can we keep it real for a second, right? You know, you guys got
Shoot.
multiple kids.
Shoot.
Have y'all had a conversation internally about whether you have a favorite kid or not?
Man, they ain't had nothing to do with this conversation. What in the world? Hey, AJ, hold on. AJ, where you find this joke at?
Yeah, I don't know where that flipped to, but I mean,
Man,
The reason I ask is because, I mean, you know, hey, he's my little boy. He's not my favorite kid, of course, right? You know, I haven't declared a favorite kid or anything like that. But he
what
is
you
my
take?
little
What you
legacy.
taking? Nominations?
You know, he's my little legacy. He's my little son. You know, like he.
Well,
the,
see,
the
that might be
name
a
bearer.
problem. If you call
Right.
him your little legacy, we already have an issue.
Both of them are my legacy, but
No,
he's
you
the
can't
one that's gonna bear
backtrack.
the
You've been
name. He's the
backtracking
one
since
that's
we
gonna
got
bear
on
the
this
name.
phone.
He's the one that's gonna bear
he's trying to
he's
put
the
the order
name bearer.
right.
Yeah, look at it.
He's
Look.
the
Hey,
name
you've been
bearer.
doing more backpedaling this whole
Put the order
conversation.
right.
You don't apologize to your wife or whoever.
Oh yeah, I did that. Oh
You don't
yeah,
apologize to her.
yeah.
You done
Yeah.
backtrack on your daughter. Now man, I don't know where we going with this conversation.
I definitely threw the wife under the bus. You know, I'm definitely gonna hear about that one.
You did. We're gonna make sure we highlight that and clip it.
But I mean, that's it's I don't have a favorite kid. It's funny because I will hear from different people that I have a favorite kid, but I hear a different kid, so that just proves to me that I don't have a favorite kid. So it's like yeah, I don't have I have a favorite one depending on the day. Right? The one don't make me mad at that time is when I'm rooting for. But
Go for it.
I think the hardest thing is trying to maintain and find time to give them your own individual time. And like for someone like me, that's difficult. Like it gets more and more difficult because you know it'll be easier for me to give one-on-one time for my daughter that lives with me. I mean, that's just naturally, right? But then when I get my kids, I got to make sure that I find a way to make sure I get a separate time where it's just me and my daughter or just me and my son. Because, you know, like tomorrow I'm going to a football game and I'm going to the game. It's just going to be me and my son. But there's a lot of times where I do that, but I got to make sure that I still find time when I do stuff with just me and my daughter. Not me, my youngest daughter, and my oldest daughter, but no, just me and her. Right, so that part is it's hard. It gets extremely hard when you got to do that balance of finding one-on-one time when you're never in the household together. Like it's easy for me to find that one-on-one time when it's just me and one in there, but that one-on-one time when I got to get the two at the same time, that gets difficult. That gets real difficult.
Gotcha.
I can see that being a future issue with me because, you know, both of the kids are going to be involved in their separate things, right? We don't do the kids that are just, you know, sitting at home all day, you know, not doing anything. They're going to have friend groups. They're going to have activities. They're going to have this, that, and the other. And just as a guy's guy, you know, it's always like you can bring your son. You know, you want to go to your son's football. I go to my daughter's cheerleading competitions and this, that, and the other, but I played football. So when my son eventually plays football, it's going to be like, I'm sure it's going to feel different for her. You know, she is not into basketball or sports like that as of now, right? So when my son hopefully is, right, like, you know, I'm going to be excited about that type of stuff. So, you know, and then we're just going to have conflicting schedules. I'm in the same household, but we're just going to have conflicting schedules where, you know, one kid got to go here, one kid got to go there. So finding that time and finding that niche I can already see that. I can anticipate that probably being something that gets even harder.
I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it is.
And hey, you might not be as excited for football as you think you might be, because me and Eli are proof right now, because that shit takes a lot of time, man. I don't rush it.
Hey, look,
not,
let
do
me
not rush football at all.
I'm gonna go back to your question. And see, when you talk about favorite kids, like for me in my particular circumstance, there's a 12-year gap between my daughter and my son.
Mm.
So having a favorite is impossible because one, my daughter came at a completely different point in my life,
Mm.
and so she grew. She really, in a sense, grew with me.
Mm.
So we have that bond, right? I mean, let her tell you some of the stories of her growing up with me being just her and I in different scenarios, even down to me playing basketball and how I used to act on the court. She was like, "No, I was there, Daddy. I know how you act." Like and those like stories that I would hear from her, she was like, "Yeah, I would go, play what's that thing you play where you hit the tennis ball or the ball racquetball." She'd be on the racquetball courts messing around, but she want to come out there and see me play and hear me how I talk and all this. I forgot all about that because I don't even really act like that anymore. And then hearing her tell stories of what she remembered to my son now being 8 and him growing up with me at like I said, a completely more mature part of my life, it's like, I hold true to both experiences
Mm.
because one, that reminder of where you came from to where you are now, it's kind of impossible. And with it being a boy and a girl, so that those dynamics are completely different, in and of itself. But going back to something you were talking about where being able to find one-on-one time. Let me ask you a question. So she's in the cheerleading.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you make yourself vulnerable enough to do some of her cheerleading stuff with her?
Oh, I do it. Like I'm involved, right? Like
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's really dope
yeah,
because
yeah.
those are the types of things that I used to remember. Like oh man, let me do this with her, or let me teach her applied metrics so she can jump higher, or something like that. That I kind of find those. Boy, I could
It was
jump.
a long
You
time.
better,
It
you
was a
better
long
do
time
your
ago.
research.
It was a long time ago, right?
But this conversation for me is a long time ago. Hey, look, this conversation is a long time ago for me because I used to struggle with trying to find the what she wanted. You know what I mean? Especially when my son came. Like trying to find, okay, well, what exactly are you looking for from me? You know what I mean? Because we always say we never know if we did a good job as a parent until really, for me, until I actually hear it from my child.
Mm.
Because everybody was like, yo, you do such a dope job of this or that. But it's the things that your kids don't tell you when they're younger and that you find out later that they were actually looking for. Those are the types of things that can kind of hurt you. So what my recommendation to any father, and I know you didn't ask for this, but it's just I want to make sure people understand. Try to dig deep into exactly what they're feeling that they don't want to tell you. Because that's where the real answer is. Because you will never get it. You will never know. Everything can look perfect on the outside. They communicating with you. They loving on you. But I can almost guarantee every father is missing the key that they're looking for, especially from a little girl or a little boy. I really see that until you actually dig so deep to the things that they don't want to tell you. That's where the answer is.
Okay. So actually, that brings up another question. Is a semi segue, a semi thought, right?
Well, finally, I hope this one makes sense.
Right. So my thought process. So I'm an athlete, competitive. Know it's hard work. Know this that, and the other. Both of you guys are too, right? So with your kids, when did you? Because I would think that my daughter, when we do um, real, I guess, hard work for her to get better at cheerleading and this, that, and the other. It's hard. I'm hard on her, right? Like, I want to see work ethic. I want to see that dog. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and, when she shows it, I'm super duper proud of her. But, when she doesn't, when she's being lazy or this, that, and the other, she's probably thinking, I'm an ass because I'm trying to be hard on her. But when or did your kids develop that kind of dog, as far as all that stuff? So You know, like, or does that happen? Like,
I don't know. You asking the wrong
that's a
person
real
right now.
question. That's a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
question
I
for
want
that.
to. Yeah, I don't have the answer. Like my so like you know everything happens at their own time. It's so I don't know what you consider dog. For me, I feel like it that comes with aggression, right? It's a level of aggression and intensity that you have when you go towards certain things, and but I think I was put in certain environments that bred aggression just naturally, right? So I felt like I had that. My son, he's going to be better athlete than me, far better athlete, more skilled athlete than me, right? But he doesn't. He's not going to. I don't know when or if you ever have that. All right, fuck this. Let's fight. If we got to fight, we're going to fight. Like I don't know if he'll have that. If he does, he can take off. But I don't know. I have no idea, and I have no idea how to develop it. And I think to me, I realize he's 8 years old. He'll figure it out on his own. Like I said, I want that level of aggression, but at the same time, we was at that shooting last week, and they was shooting at the football game. I don't want that shit. So it's like if I gotta tone down aggression and you stay out of shootings, then hey, we're fine.
Mm. So I don't see aggression or dog as aggression necessarily. I see dog as in I'm competitive. You see what I'm saying? Because that's why I start calling myself Coach Eli is because, like I said, I hear that every day, whether I'm coaching baseball, basketball, football, whatever I'm coaching. And one of the things AJ and I talk about all the time is a true competitive spirit. I can't coach that in you. I can't teach that to you. It's either it's naturally in you or it's not. I can teach you fundamentals. I can teach you advanced fun. I can teach you to be nasty on the skill level. I can't coach hard in you. I can't coach. Yo, I do not like to lose. I'm gonna make sure I take it up a notch. I don't want the next person to be better than me. I can't coach that in you. I can't. I don't even think I can coach you hard enough to instill that in you. Either you have it or you don't. Like when we talk about, you might help your daughter try to improve, and she get to a point where she might like, yo, you overly hard on me. Trust me, I coach my kids hard, especially mine. I coach
Everything.
them until they cry. I mean, that's just you do what you got to do. You gonna listen or you not. If you're not gonna listen, you're gonna pay for it. You know what I mean? Because I'm taking out my time to help you, especially if you're showing interest. Like my son, he knows, yo, when we go out here to work, yes, we have fun, but we going to work because you told me you want to be better or you told me you want to be the best at whatever it is we're working on that particular day. Well, if you're going to come out there and half do it, you're not going to like me. You know what I mean? You're not going to have a good time as far as us laughing, us joking around. But if you get out there and do the work and let me see effort, then we good. So I'm starting to think it comes with whatever they're really interested in. That's exactly what I'm starting to believe. For instance, my son, when it comes to baseball, he got all that dog in him that he wants. He don't like it. He feel like he's the nastiest on that diamond. Now he's starting to feel that way on football. Basketball, I don't think he can. He wants to be good at it, but it's not his top priority. But when it comes to baseball or or football, he want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Because now I'm teaching and exposing him to some of the older players that we grew up on. He's starting to like it, whatever. But I used to didn't think he had it until the last couple seasons where I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's about what he's interested in. And so I think that may be the key. It may not be sports for our kids. It may not be cheering. Like for instance, like my son is into robotics. Who would have thought? You know what I mean? So maybe he has a passion for that. So I think it's all about finding what they're really passionate about, and then I think we'll define the corresponding dog that's in them. but I think it's going to take a lot of work. I think that's the key to it. You got to be patient and expose them to as much as possible.
And there's a difference between what they're really interested in and what they're good at. And
that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation.
That's what I'm learning. Like, it's cool. I'll be fine if you're interested in something and not good at it or something. Like, that's all right, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, when you're good at it,
good at something, you're not interested.
That's but it's nothing you can do as a parent.
Yeah,
you have to just let, like, my son was good at basketball. Me and Eli talked about this. He was good at basketball.
I'm gonna coach him one day.
Now he don't want to play. I heard that. But now he doesn't even want to play. He's good though. Like, he's getting coaches that call for him to be on the team. He's just like, I just don't want to play.
Ooh, that would frustrate me.
Yeah. Oh, it does. But after this football season, when you're out there 3 days a week, 2 hours a day, and then the kid act like he don't really care, but then when he gets in, he can do whatever he wants to when he gets his hand on the ball. It's like, all right, I'll wait till you're ready. I'll wait till you're ready.
So yeah, I hear y'all, and I'm taking that advice and listening to it. It's kind of like, damn, like, we all want our kids to be better than we are. And I know if I had started, because at some point in time I developed that I just want to be good at all of it, F it. Like, I want to be the smartest, the good on the football field. If you think that you're better than me on the football field, on the basketball team, track, whatever it is, I don't want to be a loser. I don't really know when that came, but like, I know it came, and when it came, it was like, okay, we about to make something shake out here. And so
hold on. So when it came, did your talent actually match your heart? Or, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So, I would think, I know when I remember it coming, like, I started playing football in 8th grade. I didn't see the field at all. I was, good in the neighborhood, but when I started playing on my middle school team.
That's like people being good in flag football.
So when I came, 8th grade, didn't really see the field my first few games, and then I ended up starting my last game. Freshman year, I got into, I got on the field, didn't see the field at all. Play on the football team, didn't see the field at all. But sophomore year, junior year, senior year, started all conference, all of that type of stuff, right? Track. I started out of nowhere. I never ran track, but they told me to make me better for football, and that became actually my best sport. I became athlete of the year and this, that, and the other. Didn't make the basketball team in middle school, made it in high school, all of that.
Jordan.
Michael Jordan went to my rival high school, actually. So
hey, he about to sit here and list his whole resume. I was just saying, did you have him talent? Oh, that was a yes or no question.
We interviewing Al Bundy over here.
Good gracious, this joker, look, he got accolades that he just made up on the fly.
Badminton, I was beating niggas' ass in badminton.
See, look at it. Look at him. This is all on par for you right now.
Oh, man.
But it is like, damn, I want to see I don't want to waste time. I know if I had adopted that viewpoint earlier, I would have been even better. So I want my daughter to get it as soon as possible, my son to get it as soon as possible. And it's kind of like, I fear that if my son exhibits it earlier than my daughter exhibits it, then I kind of drift in that way. I fear
it's too much. It's too much of an age gap. It's too much of an age gap for you to. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's too much of an age gap for you to completely drift one way or the other. That's what I'm saying. You're pretty safe from it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at earlier.
By the time she's 12, she probably won't care what you're doing.
No, she'll still care if she's into anything.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, it's going to be enough of a gap that you can basically make sure both of them are taken care of. That's what I'm saying. So I feel pretty confident in saying that.
I'm certainly going to do my best, and certainly going to support her in everything that she, wants to do when she likes to do it. But I know that, I get the most excited and the most proud when I'm like, oh, she worked at that and she got it done. And so when she's lazy, I'm hard on her. And with her already. Even I'm involved. Just Nico is 8 months, so I'm just with him all the time because he's 8 months, right? But I know that when he gets old enough to really start, hey, I am working at this. I am going to put the work in at this, and she may be like, hey, I'm not as interested in this and the other. I know that excitement is going to go here, and so I'm just wondering if it just when it comes. I ask fathers this all the time, like, when does it come? Because of course, we as men, we hang around other men that are like us, right? We don't hang around, men that don't have a certain amount of dog in them. Not really who we associate with at most times. So, we just want to see that translate to our kids, I guess. So.
I got you. Well, I got one last question.
Niggas running around here, big dogs. Niggas get somewhere.
Look, I got a lot of people that claim they were athletes, but were never really athletes. But it is what it is. But last question, I got this one for you. I want AJ to answer.
We're talking to people that did it at the collegiate level, so
Yeah, exactly. So we're all athletes on the phone, or on this right now. Are you brave enough to tell your child if they're not good at something?
I think I am. Yeah, I think, because I think not being good at something presents an opportunity, especially if you have, that thought like.
Your badminton coach taught you that, didn't
he? I picked up badminton on my own, baby. Just dog, straight dog. Nah, but I think, I want to present it as an opportunity, right? Because, in the scope of my kids being better than me, right? I don't want to make it easy for my kids to be better than me. And I want them to say, hey, my dad, but I also want to look back at them and say, hey, I wasn't always good at this, right?
Yeah.
I went and put the work in to be good at this. And so, you got to do it too. The advantage that you have is you have a father who is interested, who will research, who will help you figure out how you can get better at this stuff. And so I would tell my kids, stepkids, whoever, if they're not good at something, definitely. I think so.
I know I would. I would in a heartbeat. But I also would. It depends on what it is. Like if it's something that I feel like you can get better at, I will tell you you're not good and then help you get better at it. But if it's just something that you just can't do, and like let's say you want to be a hockey player and you just cannot ice skate to save your life, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to find a way to help you get into hockey without being an actual player. Like if that means you want to be around, you want to learn and be around the game, start being in the front office early. You want to be a young reporter out here or something like that. Like if you really feel the passion, like this is what I want to do, but you can't necessarily like, hey man, not everybody's built to do everything. Like, I could have played college. If I played college throughout high school, it wouldn't have meant nothing. I wasn't going to do it in college. I mean, high school.
What?
I played football throughout high school.
That ain't what you said. You said if I played college throughout high school, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
If I played football throughout high school, I still wasn't going to play it at college. Like, so if I'm gonna be around, you got to figure out another way. You got to know where you are, who you are.
What about you, E?
I got two ways of looking at it. One, with my daughter, she wanted to play volleyball, and she hadn't played volleyball since middle school. Until she wanted to wait till she got to high school to play volleyball. That's two different tiers.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm like, nah, you're not really good at this, but we're gonna work at it. I don't play volleyball. But dang it, if I went back there in that yard trying to help her learn how to serve, spike, and do everything else, pass or whatever, and we put the work on, she made the team. I mean, that's a proud moment she had. But with my son, it's a little different. My son, I just straight on like, yo, that's trash. Yo, you trash. You trash. Yo, but see at first, he thought I was being hard on him. But I always tell him, I'm like, look, I'm not going to lie to you. If you trash, you trash. If it's something you done that was trash, I'm going to explain it to you. And so now he's like, Daddy, that was trash, won't it? You know what I mean? Because I like him to be able to self-assess and self-correct without me always having to get on him. I'm like, look, you know the fundamentals. You know keep your butt down, keep your back flat, catch the ball in front of you. If you don't do it and you make an error or a mistake, what did you do? Yeah, Daddy, that was trash. I didn't get there on time. I ain't hustle. You know what I mean? So now he understands that's just how our language from back and forth, because I grew up in that way. I'm like, look, yo, you trash, you just trash. Either you get better or you fold. You know what I mean? So I want him to understand you can take something that seems negative and flip it, like you was talking about. It's a learning opportunity, it's all that. So just take our way of talking to flip it so you can get better. You know what I mean? So that's what we do now, because in the heartbeat, I was like, yo, hey, you trash today, buddy. Like, if we go to practice, you drop 3 or 4 balls that you should have caught. Yeah, that was kind of trash. We need to work on that. Let's clean that up for tomorrow. He said, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking today. I got you. You know what I mean? So that's how we've started to foster our relationship when it comes to coach, father, son mentality right now.
Have you ever felt? Have either of you ever felt that you were too critical of your kid?
All the time. All the time. That's a no-brainer. But that you have to be kind of honest with yourself because a lot of times when I used to do it, I'd be like, yo, I'm just doing it to help you, forgetting that they're kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I do that all the time because I'm like, yo, sometimes, like I said, if I'm getting on him, if we go out for extra workouts, and he had a terrible day. At whatever we're doing, he could not get, and he didn't do anything right. And I might make him run, or I might make him do push. I might make him do something like, look, you need to get it together, but he just doesn't. You know what I mean? So now I be like, yeah, I was a little hard on her today. So, it comes with a balance. But I do it all the time. I be like, I was a little tough on even kids that's not mine. But it is what it is. AJ has no emotion, so he always hard on kids.
I don't, but that's also why I don't coach.
You did say that though.
You did say that. Don't traumatize these kids out here.
No, I just don't want to have to, like. If I were to be, I wouldn't want that on my head to even have to think about if I'm being too hard to somebody else's kid.
Well, the thing is, I used to think whether or not I'm being too hard on them, but that's one of the things that I do when I have my initial coaches meeting with the parents, is I always tell them that I'm not your child's babysitter. I'm not one of those new parents that I'm just out here, one, because I never did it. I've done it. So I'm not trying to live through my kids, your kids, or anybody. I've already accomplished everything that I was skilled enough to accomplish. So I don't have to live vicariously through anybody's child. I'm coaching because I want them to get better, and I'm not babysitting them. If I want to babysit, you can go ahead and take them with you, because I'm not doing that. If they're on this field by the end of the season, they are going to get better at something. I can't tell you what that is because I don't know them. I don't know what they're going to grab to. I don't know what they're going to improve on. But my job that I put upon myself is to help them get better. Whether that could just be listening, you know what I mean, or how to respect the older male, you know what I mean, like providing that opportunity. So I don't look at it as I'm being hard on them. I'm looking at them as being I'm a positive influence or have a positive impact in their life for the time that I have them. So,
I think that's real. My wife coaches.
I'm pretty good at this.
My wife coaches cheerleading, not my daughter's team, but she coaches for the same team, and so
right.
I think that parent meeting risk mitigation conversation that you had right after that, setting those expectations, is a good way to have, because I think it's probably even worse with obviously moms are involved in cheerleading, and women may be a little bit more sensitive about how you criticize your kid or how you coach their kids. So,
wait till you get out there and hear the way these football coaches be talking to these kids. Like, you ain't got to just be a woman to hear. Because I was at the game on Wednesday night, and I tell you what, the coach just walked out there. These kids were like 10 years old. He just walked out there slow walking. We all standing on the side. He just says, "We undefeated, and I'm pissed the fuck off at all you little motherfuckers." I said, Jesus. I'm like, man.
Wow.
Like, you got to be coaching well because y'all undefeated. But, man, I don't know if I can stand for this shit. He said, "You motherfuckers do not make me happy at all. Every day, the same shit." I said, damn.
I lit into them.
I was like, oh my God. But
That's funny. That's funny.
I learned to curse through football, so
God.
my football coaches were the first people to curse at me. Man. That's where I learned that
Football coaches curse the most because it's more of an aggression sport in the first place. So you kind of have to have a certain bravado. But cussing out 7, 8, 10-year-olds is, to me, that's a little bugged out. That's just me.
It is. The funny thing is, shit, by the time I was 8, I was probably cussing more than my coaches. It was a different time.
Badass AJ.
Oh my God.
Hey, look, at 40, he ain't much better.
But y'all should have seen this. I mean, I was in shock.
I wish I would have seen that.
I was like, oh my God. You little motherfuckers done pissed me off. I said, man.
I be looking at the YouTube with like the football leagues down in Florida. And like the little youth football leagues, man, the kids be cussing and they walking down hype up. I'm like, yo, y'all, this is crazy. But at the same time, if it's okay with the parents, then I guess it's okay. So it's all about your environment. My environment, I'm not dealing with it.
And your coach is 22, 23-year-old that ain't make it and feel like, man, if I ain't hurt my ankle, I'd have been out there.
I can't stand those type of coaches. I can't stand those type of coaches.
I saw a clip where it was like these young kids were talking like before football game hype, like bust them in their shit. They were doing I was like, whoa, you guys, who are you busting in their shit? I played
for sure.
And didn't really have the mindset of let me bust them in my shit. I just wanted to go score touchdowns. Like,
for sure.
Crazy.
But is it really as different, or is it just the shock value because we're older now? Because now that I think about it, I was listening to that Bone album before every practice. And that shit was not
it's not appropriate.
Was it 1994 or whatever it is that
Eternal, yeah. Before every game I had the picture, I listened to Machiavelli.
Sheesh.
Every game before if I'm starting that game, I would sit in my car and listen to Machiavelli before I get out to go get dressed.
You're probably like 13, 14 years old.
Nah, this was high school though. Shut up.
I don't even remember what I listened to before a game, but
because that was the only thing I was like, yo, because for some reason it would calm me down so I can go out there and do my thing. But I always listened to Machiavelli when it came out. I listened
to Eminem after I went to this wrestling tournament down in Alabama, and he's goddamn racist ass white boys. No, in Chattanooga. I went to a tournament in Chattanooga. Racist ass white boys I kept dealing with. I felt like the reverse of Eminem and shit.
I'm about to say, I'm like, yo, I got that sense from you a long time ago.
Motherfucker was listening to The Way I Am and shit the whole time.
I've never heard a black man say, I listen to Eminem to get me hyped up.
I've never heard a black man say I listen to Eminem
before my man.
You said you ain't never heard a black man listen to Eminem, period. Yeah, I got you. Me too.
So, I mean, Eminem's a great rapper.
It's one of the greatest gifted songs of all time.
Look, I learned something new about you every day, AJ. I just got off the phone with you and I learned something else new about you today. Boy, you full of it today.
Yeah, man. Because I am whatever you say I am.
All right, we're going to wrap up on that. Yo, I appreciate your time.
That's a great wrap up right there.
Hey, for real now, this was a super dope conversation, man. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us. And even though you had a couple bad segues, we're going to let you slide on that. But the content was solid, man, for real.